Well, as you remember, myself and Dr. Ken were on this program, and he actually suggested that there should be this measure, which is to import food from outside the country. And I actually disagree with that, if you remember. Now, I still disagree. I believe, just like you said, your last statement, that there is food, but it's affordability that is the problem. And I remember your colleague then saying, how can you say there is food when it's not affordable? Now, let's look at this thing in context. First of all, yes, food inflation is a major concern. Food security is a major concern, and any nation worth its name should try to ensure that it has food security. And I believe that is more important. And I remember we also discussed during that program in May about the fact that, yes, 42,000 or so metric tons was going to be distributed by government. And in my opinion, such distribution must have taken place because at some point prices stagnated, so that there must have been an impact. The only problem is that the impact is too little, too late. It was not sufficient, to actually make a major impact on the market. I like the various measures that have been proposed because withdrawal of duty or suspension of duty for 5 months is only one of the measures. There are many other measures. The only problem, again, with that, for example, there is the suggestion even made by Dr. Ken, which was taken care of in terms of policy pronouncement, that there should be massive, injection of resources, maybe for this season, to ensure that we have, the production for this season, 2024-2025, increases sufficiently, to address or at least to cover the gaps that have been observed. Now, but in reality, the season had, in fact, is more than midway as we speak, because I have told you over and over that I'm a farmer myself. Even yesterday I was in my farm. So I know that the season, it's almost too late now for government to do anything, for this season. I mean, for example, if you are to give farmers fertilizer, most farmers have already, except in the far, far, far north probably, most farmers have already applied their first or second cycle of fertilizer. Perhaps if there's anything left, it may be one more for depending on crop. So, and again, Dr. Ken was talking about harvest. Of course, for many commodities, harvest time will be in October or November. That you are talking about corn, especially Guinea corn. Some variants of rice, but some are already being harvested as we speak. Yesterday I bought sweet potato, for example. That was this year's crop. So what is going to happen is that between this month ending and August, for many parts, especially in the middle belt, there will be a lot of harvests, especially for root crops. They will start harvesting for maize, for rice. They will start harvesting. For some of us in the Northwest, already, I'm sure by that time, some of these commodities will become available. So market will adjust itself gradually. But I want to emphasize why I object, naturally to import as a solution. I mean, of course, if import is going to be a medium or a major, to suppress or reduce prices, no problem with that, because in fact sometimes even making the pronouncement will now affect the market. I don't know what will happen, but I'm sure by this coming Wednesday, when it will be market day in Makarifima, where I come from, which is probably one of the largest weekly markets, I'm sure there may be some adjustment. You will see some adjustment in the prices, probably going down. Why? Because such pronouncements have been made. Why I made the claim then in May that we have food, is only that is affordability that is the problem, is because you will never go to the market and that you find that there is no food. No, it's the prices that were the issue. The prices of these goods were the issue. I'm happy, that part of what government wants to do, from what they said, is that they want to guarantee a kind of minimum price, recommended price. I don't know what the mechanism they will adopt to ensure that there is a minimum price, but I will suggest that if anything, perhaps it would have been even better for government, instead of opening this window, it would have been better for government to actually quietly import what they say they are going to import, 250,000 metric tons of maize and 250,000 metric tons of wheat, and then make these available, like they said, especially to some millers, that will affect the price. That will affect the market price, naturally. I remember 2 years, or less than 2 years ago, during the former government, when they did a display, of this, what they are talking about the rice pyramids and maize pyramids. There was a maize pyramid in Kaduna here, and that affected price. That made price to stagnate, because why? Speculators, people who have bought these things, waiting for prices to rise, realize that there is a lot of capacity on the side of government, and therefore prices came down. So by mere pronouncement that, for example, government will import this quantum that they say they are going to import, we are talking about 500,000 metric tons in all, alone, that will have affected prices. And I'm sure if we had been a little bit patient, with the way the market works, in the next 1 month, prices will have started coming down. Prices will come down naturally. I don't think, for food security, open-ended import is a solution. It's never a solution in the long term. And in that, I agree with the president of the African Development Bank.